All right, everybody. So welcome to our webinar today. My name is Catherine with Community CPA, and Thursdays are kind of our special days where we invite speakers to come in and talk about resources that the community, especially the business community, can benefit from. So today we have Mark Edelman, who is with Iowa Microloan and Iowa Community Capital, and he will be here to speak about microloans, microlending, and their services for small business. So Mark, thank you again for coming on and joining us today.
Well, my pleasure. Happy to be here today.
So yeah, I will let you steer, I guess, in terms of the conversation, but just let me know when you want me to go to the next slide.
Okay. I might just briefly give a short introduction of myself.
Yes, absolutely.
I've been involved with microfinance with these nonprofits since about 2008. I've retired from being a economist at Iowa State in extension a couple of years ago, but I've still continued to work with two nonprofits that I helped create. One is called Iowa Microloan, and the other one is Iowa Community Capital, which we're going to talk about today. But this all started when we were working with a number of entrepreneurs and small business development centers back in the 2000s. And about 2006, we were getting a lot of feedback that there were a number of entrepreneurs that had workable business plans, but were unable to secure conventional loans from conventional lenders. And so we did a survey and found that, yes, that many banks prefer not to do loans less than a certain size. At that time, we were talking about $50,000. And so even the bankers admitted that perhaps there was a need for a specialized loan program for entrepreneurs and small business startups. And so we organized Iowa Foundation for Microenterprise and Community Vitality, and that was a name that I invented that nobody liked. And so since that time, we shortened it to Iowa Microloan. And so it basically provides loans of $5,000 to $50,000 to small businesses that are either the entrepreneur has to reside in Iowa or the business has to reside in Iowa, one of the two. And so we're an Iowa focused program. And about half the loans are in the metro area and half are in rural areas spread across the state. But we could go ahead and start the next slide, give you a little bit more information. Iowa Microloans, it's a 501c3 nonprofit, has about 15 board members from around the state. And the person that's the loan administrator was a former banker, community banker. So he's our loan administrator, and it's a statewide program that we do underneath the auspices of the SBA microloan program, which enables us to borrow funds from from Small Business Administration and then relend them out to small business entrepreneurs. And then also we're eligible, because we're an approved intermediary, that we have access to technical assistance grants that allows us to hire coaches to meet quarterly with our clients and provide coaching and small technical assistance grants with our clients too. So next slide. So as I just mentioned, we provide two types of assistance. One's financial assistance with the loans, and then the other is the quarterly meetings with each of the clients on their site. And we review typically the financials, as well as progress on their business plan that they submitted with their application. And then also a technical assistance plan is developed that's tailored to the individual entrepreneur and what they see as their next steps to get to the next level in their business. And so that's something that we can talk a little bit about too, in that that there's a small grant of up to $250 that the client can access each year to help implement part of their technical assistance plan, whether it's attending a trade show or maybe it's buying a piece of software, implementing QuickBooks or some sort of course that might help them improve their marketing or something else in their business.
Awesome.
Next slide. So the current rates are 3%. We have a grant that's buying down the interest rate from what it normally was. The loans can be up to 6 years. It's primarily for working capital. We can co-finance on projects up to $150,000 if there's a need, and we also can do some credit card refinancing if it was used for business expenses. Next slide. There are some affiliate programs that we've done. A number of affiliate programs around the state. Tom was the first one, and they've sent us we've approved about 2 applications a year from that area. A lot of it was from Latino businesses there. Polk County, we have an agreement with One Economy, and in Black Hawk County, we have a Waterloo Black Hawk County microloan program that's just starting up, and we've got some discussions in other counties to try to get targeted coaching expertise locally in some places, as well as try to develop some additional access to capital resources where there's diverse population mixes that are targeted for as underserved small businesses. Okay, next slide. Yeah, have to be 18 years old, and business owner or the business must be in Iowa. No more than 5 full-time employees, and a credit denial communication from a lender that can be an email or just doesn't have to be an official letter. It can just be an email that indicates that you don't meet our criteria or something like that. Loan proceeds can't be used to purchase real estate. This is primarily for working capital. Okay. Next slide. There's an application online, and it's somewhat self-explanatory there. You can download the application, requires a set of financials, and you submit the application to a staff reviewer. And once they certify the application is complete, then it's sent to a loan committee, and 3 out of 5 people vote to approve. And then it goes to the administrator for closing. I have to admit that sometimes perception is it takes a little longer than that. And part of that is that the application may not be quite complete. And so it's not when you submit the first application, it's when it's certified as complete by the staff. Okay, next slide. And then, as I said, the coach meets quarterly with each client, develops a plan, and there's this technical assistance grant of up to $250 for pre-approved costs in the technical assistance plan. And the local visits can be coordinated with other coaches that may be in the local area that's working with the client as well. Okay, next. So far, there's been about 140 loans that have been approved over the last decade. And it's been about half startups and half existing businesses. And I said about half and half in rural and metro areas, and about half and half female versus male entrepreneurs as well. Next. And a little over 10% are minorities, 4% are persons with disabilities. About 50 to 60% are below the median income threshold, and their loan repayment rate has been about 96%. So they've got a pretty decent record there as you compare it to other microloan programs nationally. Okay, next one. Now, what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to sort of shift gears because Iowa Microloan does loans of $5,000 to $50,000. Here in the last couple of years, its sister nonprofit, Iowa Community Capital, which is located in the same offices and has the same loan administrator, has responded to the need for some smaller loans for startup businesses. And so the CDFI, or Community Development Financial Institution Fund of the Treasury, has this last year started a program that provides to CDFI organizations or nonprofits some extra capital to do small dollar loan programs. And so they define a small dollar loan program as a loan of less than $2,500. And so if you have a startup business that needs some seed capital, say like $1,000 to $2,500, then that's what this particular program is designed to target. And it requires that we might go to the next one. Some of the same eligibility requirements. This would be a 1 to 2 year term for the loan. Same age and residency requirements. We also would like to see the applicants for this program have completed some form of small business boot camp workshop or have some education training on business, finance, and management under their belt. And there's a requirement that they meet monthly, either by Zoom with the coach and peers in a small peer group of clients that typically about 5 other businesses to discuss challenges and to learn from each other and to develop a network of small business entrepreneurs. It's a more simplified application process that's developing, and we haven't actually launched this program yet, but within the next 3 months, we're planning to launch it.
Wonderful. Mark, when you say about the small business bootcamp workshop, is it just any small business program, or do you have partners that you're working with?
I guess we would like to see sort of the curriculum outline, but it doesn't have to. We don't have any partners in particular for this program. This really came out of discussions with the One Economy Group, and they have a strong relationship with the Financial Empowerment Center in Des Moines. But certainly a number of small business development centers and others around the state have from time to time done small business workshops. But we would like to kind of get a sense of what was in the curriculum and so that we have a sense that it's a sort of a more of a well-rounded course of curriculum in the training.
All right, awesome.
And that's all I have for PowerPoint slides, but I'd be happy to entertain any questions that your group might have?
Yeah, so we will open it up for any questions or comments from the audience. Again, this is Mark's contact here on the screen. You can reach out to him directly, and I will also be working to help connect you, Mark, to our audience. There is a question. So what is the makeup of your loan committee at Iowa Microfinance?
Yeah, we have a 5-member committee. 2 are what I would call former loan officers. That one's a retired person. The other one is a former loan officer who's also since had a tax preparation accounting business and now retired as a farmer. We do have a banker on there and an economic developer and somebody who's a city administrator. So it's kind of a different group. Now, part of the reason we've developed these affiliates in some of the communities is we like to see a local loan committee that reviews applications. Since we have a statewide loan committee, they don't really know anything about the clients other than what they see in the application. Whereas a local loan committee, particularly if it's composed of folks with some financial background, but who are very familiar with the local target populations, particularly say like if we're targeting minoritized populations in the community, that the loan committee would be representative of the target populations, and therefore there's a process that the loan committee can, local loan committee can actually approve the loan even if the statewide loan committee does not approve it, and we'll still go ahead and do the loan. The loan loss reserve would rely on the local loan loss reserve, though, and we have a process for setting that up. So there is a it's designed because we want to get our loans out there and working for people who have workable business plans, and sometimes our statewide committee is a little more conservative than some of us entrepreneurial folks would like to see.
For sure. So with the coaching for Iowa Microloan and the loan process, are they combined? Are they required of each other, or can a business apply to those separately?
No, we if you're approved as a loan, then we require the quarterly meetings. Now, okay, since the pandemic started, we oftentimes do those by conference call or Zoom. And so that's how we're currently doing them. We haven't really, we haven't switched back to in-person meetings yet because of the pandemic, but yeah, we like to see the financials quarterly, and we like to have some sort of technical assistance visit. So it's you get both, and one of the reasons for that is after 10 years, we're pretty strongly convinced that one of the reasons we've got a little higher loan repayment rate is because we've been able to sort of address some of the problems before they really become big failures for a local entrepreneur. One of the things we like to do too is that the coach that we have that works with a lot of the clients, is kind of a pretty adept at helping clients make sure that they're if they don't have an accounting package or something, he sets them up with QuickBooks so that that they can have sort of a financial package to help them gain that kind of financial information for management purposes and implement it. So so yeah, it's not optional. We we require both.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, thank you so much, Mark. I think that those are the questions for today. Again, I will help connect you with those who might be interested in getting the microloan or are able to pass it along.
Okay. Well, thank you, Catherine. Good to see
Yes.
you.
Thank you for your time.
Yep.
Take care. Thank you, everybody.
Goodbye.